Okay, so, okay, so I came across this wild case involving Asmita Patel Global School of Trading. Apparently, SEBI, the Securities and Exchange Board of India, got a complaint from a bunch of people about their practices.
Oh, really? Asmita Patel, huh? I think I've seen some of her stuff online. What's the gist of the complaint?
Well, 42 people complained that this school, AGSTPL, and its directors, Ms. Asmita and Mr. Jitesh Patel, along with some other firms, were offering investment advice without being registered with SEB. And get this, they were doing it through Telegram channels and Zoom meetings.
Wow, that's a red flag right there. So basically running an unregistered investment advisory service, huh? What kind of stuff were they allegedly doing?
Yeah, that's the core of it. SEBI investigated and they found that AGSTP was giving stock buy sell recommendations. Plus, they were running these educational courses. But it seems like the lines were blurred between education and advice.
Right. I mean, there's a fine line, but it sounds like they crossed it. So what did SEBI find that made them take action? I mean, this sounds pretty serious.
Okay, so they dug into agreements with course participants. These agreements were like disclaiming any get rich quick schemes, but the reality seemed different. Turns out the company was taking in a lot of money.
How much are we talking about? Disclaimer, we advise investors to check with certified experts before taking any investment decisions.
Oh, it's a big number. Between 2019 and 2023, they collected over 90 crore rupees in course fees. Plus, participants were paying fees to other firms linked to the school.
90 crore? That's insane. So, were these courses actually teaching people how to trade? Or was it more like a thinly veiled way to give investment advice?
That's the thing. The complainant said that Asmita Patel was pushing students to liquidate mutual funds, even borrow money to join her course and trade based on her Telegram recommendations. She even called herself the she wolf of the stock market and claimed to manage assets worth 140 crore.
She wolf of the stock market? Seriously? That's pretty over the top. I mean, these things sound shady, like a proper violation of investment laws.
Well, SEBI seemed to agree. They looked at recordings of these LMIT and pre-MPAT sessions.
LMIT? Pre-MPAT? What are those?
They're just names of some of the courses. So in these sessions, SEBI found instances of like chats about guaranteed returns, visiting speakers talking about guaranteed returns, and suggestions to ditch mutual funds for trading. I mean, it's all in the SEBI report.
Guaranteed returns? That's a huge no no in the investment world. It's like promising the moon. What else did they find in these sessions?
Okay, they found suggestions that students should exit their mutual fund investments or use other people's money. Then they were even guiding participants to place orders during live sessions during the MPAT course.
Wow. It sounds like they were not only giving advice, but actively managing people's trades in real time. What did the agreement forms say?
Well, the agreement forms had disclaimers that there were no guaranteed returns.
What a double standard. How did SEBI respond?
SEBI also found messages on MPAT Telegram channels where the school gave specific trading instructions. These instructions included entry and exit prices, which is a pretty clear sign of investment advice. And then, to top it all off, the school was telling people to open trading accounts with ABC Ltd, where Asmita Patel was registered as an authorized person.
So she was basically driving business to her own brokerage while giving investment advice. That's definitely a conflict of interest. Did the complainants give specifics?
Yeah, like on one day, the channel M16 posted about buying a Tech Mahindra call option and gave a trigger price and a stop loss price. Then, 5 course participants placed buy orders almost immediately. And of course, they'd put a disclaimer at the bottom like, do not distribute.
Unreal. So the messages on the Telegram channels and the actual trades placed by participants were correlated. It must have been quite a task for SEBI to do the trade analysis.
Absolutely. But that's not all. The WhatsApp chats between the course participants and the school were also pretty damning. In one chat, a student acknowledged booking a profit based on the instructions of the school.
Seriously, like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're finding this interesting and want to support us bringing more of such content. I mean, this story is wild and it's going to get worse, isn't it? What was Asmita's argument in all of this?
Of course, the school claimed they were just providing educational services. They said they weren't promising any returns or pushing anyone to trade. They also denied any connection with the firms receiving the payments.
Denials, eh? I expected nothing less. But SEBI didn't buy it, right?
Nah, SEBI didn't buy it. They checked the bank accounts, and guess what? All the claims are false. SEBI also pointed out that Asmita Patel falsely claimed to manage huge portfolios worth hundreds of crores when the actual trading volume in her accounts was a fraction of that.
So, what was the result of all of this?
Well, SEBI issued an interim order. They've ordered Asmita Patel Global School of Trading and its directors to stop offering unregistered investment advice, and they've restrained them from dealing in securities. Plus, they've ordered them to deposit over 53 crore rupees to impound money.
53 crore rupees. That's a serious blow. I can imagine the school struggling with that. So, what about the other entities that received money?
Right. So, SEBI is looking at these other firms, King Traders, Gemini Enterprise, and United Enterprises, basically saying those firms aided and abetted Asmita Patel.
It sounds like SEBI is going after everyone involved in this scheme. So, what are the potential consequences for Asmita Patel and her company?
Well, it's not over yet. SEBI has issued a show cause notice asking them to explain why they shouldn't be forced to disgorge the entire amount of money they collected and why they shouldn't be banned from the securities market.
So, what happens in such cases?
Basically, there is an opportunity to prove that it's education, what all processes were followed. It's an opportunity to provide data in support, etc.
That sounds fair. So, what does this all mean for investors?
The order directed the notices to cough up 53 crore within 15 days.
And for anyone who might be thinking of taking a course like this, what's the takeaway?
Well, I think it's a reminder that you should always do your research before trusting someone with your money. And if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Also, make sure anyone giving you investment advice is properly registered with SEBI.
Absolutely. It's so important to be cautious and skeptical when it comes to investing. It's really sad to see people losing their life savings this way. What are your final thoughts on all of this?
This is a very interesting one as it relates to the discussion around what constitutes educational activity and what does not, and the role of social media in attracting some set of participants is a very interesting. If it's used in such a way that things are actually being said, which is very difficult to prove.